We're going to carry on now with the Telecaster modeling, and in the last video I modeled a bunch of this, including the tuning peg, and what I want to do right now is I want to work on this head nut. Alright, and so the way I'm going to do this, I think, is I'm going to copy the neck and move it to another layer. I'll just move it up to here. And then I'm going to move it in the X direction over to here, and I think I'm going to go ahead and apply that transformation, that taper, and I'm going to scale it in the X just a little bit, just to match the diagram a bit better. And I want to take this edge right here, Shift D, P, and I'm going to use this now. Just move it away just a little bit. I'm going to hide the neck, and where's my piece? There it is. Okay. So this will have the same shape as the neck. Now, what I'm going to do is come down to the top view. This is the front here, so I want to get rid of some of this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off all those vertices there. I'm going to take these two, join them, and then select it all, make a face, and we'll extrude this a little bit like that. Make sure all the normals are facing the right way, and we'll come back. Okay, so back into wireframe. So this is what I have so far. I think I will scale it in Z. Let's make it a bit bigger. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'll go into edit mode, and I think I'm going to change the shape of this to some extent, and I am going to move these edges. I'm just not sure if I'm moving the top part. Yeah, I'm just moving that. I'm going to move these edges sort of to the outside of the strings themselves. Okay, so I'm just doing it by eye, so they're not going to all be perfectly consistent, but that's okay. In fact, I never really looked that closely. It's highly likely that the head nut, the spaces where the strings go through are different a little bit because of the gauge of the strings being a little bit different. I just want to get them roughly in the right positions, so when I come to stringing this thing, it's not my favorite thing to do. It could potentially work out. So it's changed the shape of this a little bit, but it's going to change even more. Now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In each of these spaces, I'm going to go Control R and put it right in the middle. Accept that. Okay, and then I'm going to go and I'm going to grab all of them together. Not that one though. Where's the middle one? Right there. Okay, and I'm going to pull down something like that. I might exaggerate it a little bit so that it's a little bit more visible. Highlight the whole thing, Control B to bevel it, and we'll give it a bit of a bevel. Okay, just like that. Okay, let's bring back the neck. Grab this, and I guess this goes right about there, depending on you know, I suppose I could use this let's see if I can pull this through, pull it up to there. And I take this and I push it up. that. Okay, it's reasonable looking. It's not the most amazing thing in the world, but it's not too bad. Now I've moved it a bit, so if I take this, just hide that one for a moment and select both of those and see how she's looking. I'll go back in a wireframe for a second. I think that I want to move the neck back to where I had it. So in fact, what I'm going to do is, let's get off that. Let's come back to here. I'm going to show that neck again, because I think I'm going to stick with that position. And I'm going to come over to here. Actually, that and that. So I got them selected. And let's see, can I move this alone? Yeah, it's good. I'll slide it back into approximate position. I'll come back to here. I'll hide that neck again. And I'll take this one. You know what? I better move this one first. I'm going to take that neck and move it to here. Come back here, take that and move it to the first layer. So it's back in position. And we now have the head nut on there. Yep. Okay. Cool. All right. So, what am I doing now? Well, I guess it's going to be time to get busy on this headstock, whatever you call it. These are different tuning pegs, I see, and so I don't know if these are standard Esquire tuning pegs, and if the tuning peg that I made is not. But I mean, I put some work into that, and I liked it, and I'm thinking about just still, you know, just going with that if it works out. All right, so let's have a look at some of the other pictures I've got, and wonder if it's any easier to model off of this versus off of this. I don't think it's any easier. So what I could do is just start modeling this in that position, and then I'll work on getting it to fit. All right, so I think I'll bring the cursor to this position here. And bring in a path. I'm going to scale this in the Y. Not. All right, never mind. I see I'm missing, it's way down here. Let's get rid of some of these. That's better. Abby, go upstairs, please. Abby, go upstairs, please. I just want to see if I have a clue. All right, okay, great. It's back to not being able to see it really with this color, so I think we'll do what we did before. That's all I need. Okay. Let's bring this down here. Let's see what this is looking like. Yep. Okay. Yeah, I guess I did want to have a look at it. Gee, it's very nice already. And my wife's playing some guitar in the background. It's always nice to hear. Nursery rhymes. Let's see what that's looking like. Okay, not bad at all, if I do say so myself. Not bad. What did I do? Now, I have half a mind to scale Z0 and to just finish that off when I convert it to a mesh. I think I'm going to go with that. So let's try, because I want it pretty square. So let's convert that to a mesh. There we go. Let's grab those. Let's make a face. Now let's fill that, and let's bring it back that way. Now I'm going back to just that, really. Okay, so here's what I got so far. All right. I think I've got some side views, or a side view, I think. Maybe I don't. Let's have a look at this, just to get a sense of. Doesn't matter. Well, let's just go ahead and try to bevel this. Do I care about that end? Let's try it without that. I'm just wondering how thick to make this. I think that looks pretty good. I'm not exactly certain about how to join those, what I would want to do there, but for the moment I'm not going to worry about that. Let's come back to this. Okay, so what I can do here is I just want to work on that stuff. So I will move this over, and I can always move it back. All right, and I'm going to go into edit mode and wireframe, and let's have a look at this. So this is where I'm going to draw the hardware, and I think maybe we do need another image. So we got the holes. Do I have the same picture twice? Not exactly the same picture, but let's just have a look at the headstock. There we go. That one. It's not the greatest one, but we see sort of a cylindrical structure. Another one. Anyway, let's find something else though. Let's have a look at this one. It's probably the same picture I'm looking at. Okay. Let's have a look at this one. Oh, jeez. It makes me wonder if I've drawn, you know, these were the tuning pegs and tuning heads that I designed, and I'm wondering if they really are the wrong ones for this guitar. I might research that again in a little bit. Here we see just a Fender Telecaster with that style, so maybe I searched Fender Telecaster. I really want, oh yeah, so what I think I want to do is this outer sort of circular area with a pole coming up the middle and that hexagonal bolt, and that's what I'd like to do for this, like I've done in previous guitars. And then I'll decide, do I want to use these kind of heads or tuning heads or whatever you call them, tuning pegs maybe, or something else. So that's what I'm going to go for right there, I think. So actually, let me get out of here and just put the, doesn't matter really where it comes in. So I'm going to create a circle, rotate X in the 90, in the 90, in the 90s. Yeah, it is nice to hear my wife singing in the background. I don't know if you can hear that at all. You're probably all saying, let us hear it. I wish I could. Well, check her out on YouTube, Deanie Kimmel. Alrighty. Okay, so I'm going to at least fill that. And I'm going to extrude this like that, and I will come out of that. There we go. Face. Actually, I better go back and I want to inset this. Scale Shift Y, right? Scale Shift Y. That'll be the pole there. That'll come up. So let's extrude that up. Maybe it doesn't have to come up too high. Anyhow, I'll do that much. Okay, we'll just bevel these. Just like that. Shift S, cursor selected. I'm going to bring in a cylinder, 6-sided, good. And rotate this around the X. scale it in the Y and push it down and scale the whole thing. And I'll scale it in the Y again. Let's see what that looks like. That's essentially what I'm going for. Okay. But that, I'll put a small bevel on it too, so it catches a bit of light. Put those together. I mean, you know, those can eventually be smoothed. I mean, when I join them to this and I smooth this, any values I get, it'll be all weird. Let's have a look and see how that looks. I think it works out well, so let's copy that. Yep, it's going all right. I'm just humming along to what my wife is singing. Let's see how that looks. Double check that they should all be on the surface. Well, that looks okay. Where's all this happening in the first level? All right, let's take that and bring it to the first level. Scale it down 1,000,000 times. Let's start bringing it over to here. Alright, so now those go on the back. So I'm going to need to rotate that around the X. Am I? Rotate X, not 90, 180. I'll get it eventually. I know what I've got to do. I've got to turn it around. Okay, rotate Y. Let's try this just to get it started. Okay, that's obviously not going to be the size, and all. I'm just getting in a position here. Let's start scaling her down. Let's rotate in the Y and get it sort of into that position. Now if I use normal, are you going to treat me well? Yeah, you will. So let's have a look at this. I think that something's wrong here. Not sure how thrilled I am about these. Let's try it. Seems awfully thick, and these seem too close to the. See, they barely. Okay, so let's get this more organized. So it comes up to about halfway of the cylinder, and that still leaves them about quarter or a fifth. This distance here is about maybe a quarter of the distance, or maybe even a third of this. Well, yeah, maybe. Maybe. Let's do another one. Now, by the way, I need to check. I'm not going to be able to tell it, or am I? No, see, they don't, it's not like they exactly, the tuning pegs come out, it looks like a little distance behind that. You know what I mean? So, like, exactly like in the diagram. So I expected them to be there, but they're not. So I'm going to trust the diagram for now, and we're going to see if this looks right or not. I can do some adjustments on this, actually, now that I think about it. If I want this piece further out, and I want it to lengthen the whole thing, I could potentially do that. Just have a look at this. In my mind, these look too thick, all right? But I don't really think I'm going to be able to change that. Right? Scale in the Y. Well, you know, I could a little bit. And then I could swell this piece out. Would it be worth doing that? That flattens the cylinder a little bit though, you know. Whereas if I don't do that, you know, this is what I've got now. If I was to go into this, easiest way. Let's see if I do that. I get everything there, don't I? Except it's gonna be very tough, just in terms of unless I make it its own selection. Does that then start changing my orientation stuff? Yeah, it does at that point. Wait. You know, like that. Okay, so give me a second here. I come in, take this. I might want to make that whole ring actually a little bit bigger at first. Like that, actually. I like that. I'll go one, two more. Let's try that. Okay, so I do that first, and then I take this one and I just extend that out. Let's just have a look at that. That's not exactly the same. Just does that. What about if I do take that and go out a bit? Can I get out of there? No, I can't easily move those. Or, yeah, that's going to be too odd. I went into this tuning head, and I made an adjustment. I actually liked it. I like it better than the way it was. And all I did, I'll show you, is I went in and this all this subdivision surface. And what I did is I just grabbed one of these edges and brought it out and then extruded, and so now I have a simpler structure here. I'll show you. Okay, and then I beveled the edges, and I actually prefer that better. And another thing that I think I do want to do is I am going to shrink this down. I don't care if it flattens it out a bit. Grab both of these and lay them right about there. All right, and I just think that it looks a little bit better. So I'm going to delete all these. I'm going to actually join these together. And I'll delete these. And I'm going to use this one as the main model. Did I copy it? Yeah, I got it. It's beveled. It catches more light as well. We'll look at the positioning in a bit. Okay, and I think that perhaps I could take these out a little bit. Something like that. I think it looks better. Okay, let's bring back the neck. Alright, so now what I would need to do then is to take all of these. I'm not committed yet. I'm ready to join them. Actually, I think I will go ahead and join these. And I suppose if I was sold on these, I might as well join them. There it is, it's done. So I'm going to move this back roughly into position where I had it before. And that's what we got so far. We're getting close. I'm going to need to think about this region here. Obviously it's not the greatest transition. You know, I always have trouble with that, so what can I do? I'm close to being ready to put strings on this thing. Let's have another look with it's not too bad, I guess, I hope. Not looking forward to stringing. It's my least favorite part of all, because I always make all this and it looks okay, but it's never exactly in line for the strings to work. And so I'm going to do a little bit of practice, I think, off camera, and hopefully it will get me ready to come back and do it for real. I don't know why I always go back to that. Well, what I always go back to is this, right? All right. Anyways, you get the drift. All right. We'll be back in a bit. All right. I've made a couple of minor adjustments. I think the last time we were here, I was looking at the hardware up here. All right, and I've gone ahead and I've changed all these. I made them a little thinner, and I've attached them to the body now. I guess I've done the strings. I can't remember if I showed you that. I didn't videotape myself doing it because I'm terrible at it. They're done. They may pass. I hope they're not visibly messed up. and I added this little thing up here. Yeah, the strings were an absolute nightmare for me, and so I'm just hoping they're going to look okay, and I'll probably choose the renders where they do look okay, or they look the least bad. I think I'm calling this finished in terms of the modeling at this point. I'm not going to mess around with anything else. I'm just going to try to throw down some colors and get a bit of a render out of this thing. All right, so I'll come back and show you that in a bit.